everyone, and welcome to the Flora Files, where we dive into the world's most fascinating plants and fungi, one species at a time. Today's plant looks like a pile of withered seaweed or a windblown heap of trash. You might walk right past it without a second glance. But this tangle of dry, shredded green is one of the strangest and most resilient plants on Earth. That's because this plant only grows 2 leaves. And they never stop growing. Not 2 new leaves every year, just 2 for its entire life. And that life? It can last over 1,000 years. How does a plant like this survive, let alone thrive, in a place where it might not rain for years at a time? What secrets lie in this alien-looking survivor of deep time? Let's find out. Its name is Welwitschia mirabilis, and mirabilis means wonderful, which honestly feels like an understatement. This bizarre plant has confounded scientists, naturalists, and explorers since it was first documented. You might hear it referred to by its local name, tree tumbo, though calling it a tree is pretty generous. It has no trunk in the traditional sense, no branches, and just 2 leaves that grow continuously throughout its entire life, often becoming tattered, split, and tangled until the plant resembles a pile of dried seaweed or discarded fabric. What makes it even stranger is its home. Welwitschia is found only one place on Earth. It's endemic to the Namib Desert, a vast and ancient landscape stretching across Namibia and parts of southern Angola. This desert is considered one of the oldest and driest in the world, a place where rainfall is scarce and survival is hard-won. Some areas can go decades without meaningful precipitation. Yet somehow this plant has made a permanent home there, surviving and thriving where almost nothing else can. Welwitschia mirabilis isn't just strange, it's ancient. Some individual plants are estimated to be over 1,000 years old. A few might have been alive when the Roman Empire fell. Others may predate the invention of written language in parts of the world. Because it grows so slowly and never sheds its leaves, scientists can estimate its age by measuring the size and growth rings in its woody stem base. It's not a perfect science, desert conditions are harsh and unpredictable, but the results are staggering. This tangled mess of leaves might represent literal millennia of survival. And survival is exactly what Welwitschia does best. It withstands blistering heat, battering winds, prolonged drought, and some of the most nutrient-poor soils on Earth. Instead of chasing resources like most plants, it hunkers down and waits. Its deep taproot anchors it in place, while specialized tissues pull moisture from desert fog and channel it into the plant. It's not just surviving the desert, it's mastered it. Now here's where Welwitschia really starts to feel like something from another world. This plant only grows 2 leaves, not 2 per season, not 2 per year, just 2, total, for its entire life. And those 2 leaves never fall off and they never stop growing. They emerge from opposite sides of a thick, low stem and just keep extending, year after year, century after century, unfurling slowly from a specialized growth zone at their base called a basal meristem. In fact, some Welwitschia leaves have been measured at over 13 feet long. That's 4 meters of continuous leaf growth, but they rarely look like a pair of neat ribbons stretching through the desert. Instead, they become shredded by time. Blasted by wind, scorched by sun, and sanded down by the harsh desert environment, these leaves split and fray into long, curling strips. Over the years, they twist into chaotic tangles, forming a ragged, ribbon-like mass around the base of the plant. At first glance, it can look like a pile of dead vegetation or a discarded tarp caught on a rock. It's easy to mistake it for a bunch of withered leaves. But what you're actually seeing is 2 continuous organs, still alive, still growing, even after centuries. This bizarre adaptation helps the plant cope with its environment. Long, tough leaves allow it to absorb precious water from desert fog and dew. And because the leaves never fall off, they carry decades worth of environmental history in their fibers. A living timeline of survival etched into sunburned, sand-scoured flesh. But Welwitchia's survival isn't just about its strange leaves. Beneath the surface, it's just as remarkable. The plant anchors itself with a deep taproot that dives straight down into the earth, tapping into underground moisture reserves when it can. But it doesn't stop there. It also spreads out a wide, shallow network of surface roots that can quickly soak up any rainfall or runoff that might happen to reach the desert floor. That's important, because rain in the Namib Desert is scarce. In some places, it may only fall a few times a year, and sometimes not at all. But Welwitschia has a secret weapon: fog. Thanks to cool ocean currents just offshore, thick fog regularly rolls inland over the desert. It's this fog that the plant has learned to rely on. Its long, tattered leaves are excellent at catching the tiny droplets, which then drip down to the ground and are absorbed by the shallow roots, or in some cases taken in directly through the leaf surface. This ability to harvest water from the air gives Welwitschia a huge edge in one of the driest places on Earth. And unlike many desert plants that drop their leaves or go dormant during dry spells, Welwitschia keeps photosynthesizing, just on its own terms. It uses a specialized strategy similar to CAM photosynthesis, which allows it to open its stomata, the tiny pores on its leaves, during the cool, humid nighttime hours rather than during the day. This helps minimize water loss while still allowing gas exchange for photosynthesis. In other words, this strange desert survivor doesn't just hoard water, it's evolved to squeeze every last drop of it from the world around it. Despite its ancient and alien appearance, Welwitschia reproduces in a surprisingly familiar way, with the help of insects. This plant is dioecious, meaning each individual is either male or female, never both. Male plants produce clusters of reddish-brown pollen cones, while female plants grow larger seed cones, often tinged with a subtle green or pink hue. And while Welwitschia might seem too strange or inhospitable for most wildlife, it has struck up an odd partnership with some of the desert's smallest residents, flies and wasps. These insects serve as the plant's primary pollinators, buzzing between male and female cones to transfer pollen, a task more commonly associated with flowers than cones. Once pollinated, the female cones produce winged seeds, lightweight papery structures that catch the wind. It's an elegant strategy in an otherwise harsh world, allowing new plants to potentially take root miles away from the parent. But don't expect Welwitschia to fill the desert quickly. This is a plant that plays the long game. It grows excruciatingly slowly. Some individuals may take decades just to reach reproductive maturity and centuries to achieve their full size. In fact, many of the Welwitschia plants we see today likely started growing around the time of the Roman Empire, or even earlier. It's not in a rush, and maybe that's part of the secret to its success. In a land of extremes, patience might be the most powerful adaptation of all. Welwitschia isn't just a strange plant, it's an ancient one. Often called a living fossil, this bizarre survivor is the last remnant of a once diverse and widespread lineage. It belongs to a group of gymnosperms that dates back hundreds of millions of years, to a time when dinosaurs still roamed the earth and flowering plants had yet to make their debut. But this isn't anything like a pine tree or a sago palm. Welwitschia is so different, so distinct in its form and function, that it stands alone, the only living species in its genus, Welwitschia, and the sole member of its family, Welwitschia. While nearly all of its relatives have long since vanished, Welwitschia mirabilis has held on, adapting just enough to survive the ages. And the truly incredible part, it's barely changed. Fossil evidence shows that plants strikingly similar to Welwitschia were growing during the Jurassic period, meaning today's specimens are nearly identical to the ones that once shared the planet with sauropods and pterosaurs. Its basic blueprint, 2 ever-growing leaves, deep taproots, and slow, deliberate growth, was so effective, so well-tuned to its environment that there was simply no need to reinvent it. But while it may look like a plant stranded out of time, Welwitschia is also a relic of loss. Millions of years ago, its ancestors likely stretched across much broader ranges. Now it survives in only one sliver of southern Africa, a holdout from a more ancient world. In that sense, each plant is not just a curiosity, but a living chapter of Earth's evolutionary story, written in twisted green ribbons and scorched desert soil. In its native Namibia, Welwitschia mirabilis isn't just another desert oddity, it's a national treasure. Locals and scientists alike recognize it as a symbol of endurance, mystery, and resilience. Its image even appears on Namibian currency, a tribute to its deep cultural and ecological significance. Since its first description by European explorers in the mid-1800s, Welwitschia has fascinated and baffled botanists. Early scientists weren't sure what to make of it. Was it a freakish monocot? A distant conifer cousin? A missing link in the plant kingdom? Over time, it became clear that Welwitschia didn't quite fit anywhere neatly, and that's exactly what makes it so compelling. Today, researchers continue to study Welwitschia to uncover the secrets of its survival. Its ability to thrive in one of the driest, most inhospitable places on Earth makes it a valuable model for understanding drought resistance, water use efficiency, and long-term plant longevity. Its unique biology, from its ever-growing leaves to its deep genetic divergence, offers clues about how plants adapt when pushed to the extremes. But even with all we've learned, Welwitschia remains a botanical enigma. A survivor shaped by deep time and relentless desert winds, standing alone as the last of its kind. So what can we take away from Welwitschia mirabilis? Let's recap. This plant grows just 2 leaves, ever, and they never stop growing, twisting into a weathered, wind-shredded mess over time. It's a living fossil, the last survivor of an ancient lineage that's been around for millions of years. It endures one of the harshest environments on Earth with almost no rain, blistering heat, poor soil, and relentless wind. And yet it persists, quietly, patiently, for up to 2,000 years or more. In every way, Welwitschia defies our expectations. It doesn't look like a tree, a flower, or even what most of us think of as a normal plant. There's no lush canopy, no vibrant bloom, no graceful form. It looks like something discarded, a dried-up, crumpled heap, until you learn what it truly is, a marvel of adaptation, a reminder that survival doesn't always look beautiful, and a testament to nature's creativity. Welwitschia invites us to question our assumptions about what's normal, what's beautiful, and what's possible. It shows us that life finds a way even in the most unlikely forms, and often in the most unforgiving places. And maybe that's what makes it truly miraculous. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of the Flora Files, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And stay curious! There's a whole world of strange and wonderful plants still to explore.